Hey, good morning. This is Steven Silver, and welcome to Art Talk. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today was I got a comment on the last post I made where Gabriel had asked. He wanted to know, I've always wanted to know your opinion on being born an artist. I mean, like, is it something you can't imagine not doing? Have you had the feeling, and do you feel this is a very strong destiny? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel for sure I was here to do this. You know, that became just my purpose. And I think, you kind of have to go with your gut. You just kind of know. I think it's just something that you can't ever step away from. You keep getting drawn to it. And that's why a lot of people come back later on in life and say, maybe they ended up getting a job as an engineer or doing this or graphic design or, something else that may be tied in somehow, but was never necessarily that art. So they're always trying to keep going for it. And that's why I say you should always just continue it. This is what you're here to do. So just do it and enjoy it. Is there a guarantee that you're going to make a living in it? No, absolutely not. There are no guarantees in life about anything. So, but is it something that you truly just enjoy doing? So maybe you just enjoy doing it and you got your other job doing something, you just do this for fun. So, and then maybe the more time and effort and energy you put into it, maybe something will develop. I think as long as you have that open mind and you're willing to try new things and you're willing to take those adventures and take those risks and just put yourself out there, and God, that convention is so scary. I don't want to set up at the convention. What if people don't like my work? And you start creating all this chaos in your mind. Well, then no, it's not going to happen. But if you're of the mindset where you're just like, hey, I like drawing, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to try and see what happens. It's something that I did at a young age, where I would go around and paint windows at Christmas time, just because I thought that would be a great way to use my art. I would I did just so many things, just going into copy stores, and I would just put little flyers. I'd make a little flyer, need an artist, it's kind of like got milk, and it's like got an artist. And it was one of these things where you just did it, and then things happen. And then when people started to see that, hey, this kid really likes to draw, what happens is these people come and they mention things to you directly, or they mention it to someone else and say, hey, have you ever thought about taking Steven or showing Steven this? Or you go through those experiences and it leads to something. So everything leads to something else. It's a tree. It's a growing tree, and that's what it is. And, actually brings me to this point that I just kind of wanted to make to, this, it's kind of like being born an artist. So what the idea, the way I kind of see it is like this. You start off as just a seed, okay? That's what you are. You're planted here. You're like a plant. You're born, you're here, okay? So you're going to be an artist. You don't realize that yet. You got to learn that along the way. That seed, you got the whole trunk, the stem of this tree that grows, and it goes to the top, and it goes to its furthest point. That's your tree of life. That's, let's say, your existence. And then the way I just see it is, as those trees, every tree, the more you water it, the more you nurture it, that tree just kind of keeps growing. And it has many different branches, okay? And each one of those branches should represent just different things that you're going to, do in life. It doesn't mean just because you go off in this direction and maybe you go to the furthest point and you're watering it and you've done your best, does it mean that it ends there and that you just drop and die? It does if you stop watering it, if you stop nurturing yourself and building upon your skill level. So what happens is, once you meet that, you fulfill that goal, this is bloomed, this is blossomed and all that. Well, now what about this tree? What about going on that adventure and letting that do something? What about this adventure over here and this adventure over there and that adventure, and so on and so on? And so that's what it is. It's just like that's being born as an artist, as a creative, or whatever else you want to do in your life. But that's the way I just kind of see it. So never give up just because something's not working out the way you think that it should work out. Again, try something new, try something out of the box. You never know what's going to happen, but you'll never know until you try. All right, so thanks for watching Art Talk, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.